And what's good, YouTube? It's Supreme J here. Now, a viewer suggested if I could show how to like legit check and show off the tags on the box logos. So I have four different box logos right here. We got some hoodies, we got a super rare one, and we got two recent ones. He specifically wanted to see for the camo one. And let me just say this off the bat. I don't really check the resale market on the box logos anymore because I mean I have like my holy grail and I'm able to manually couple the ones I want. So I'm not exactly sure how expensive these are going for and if the manufacturers that make fakes even think that it's worth it. But I'm just gonna do my part and show you guys as someone that I copped all three of these manually off Supreme. I have unboxing videos. I never uploaded for week one, unfortunately. And we'll talk about this one right now. So we'll start things off with the most recent box logo. This is the Futura collab. So for one thing to note, when I get my shirts, I dry them one time to shrink, and then I never dry them again. So this shirt has been dried one time. So something that you want to note for the Futura one, it should go all the way to the edge right there, and you can see how the quality of the screen print should look. It should be, you know, nice and centered and flush. And then when it comes to the tag, this is once again for the most recent box logo drop. I'll go ahead and zoom in on this if the camera isn't getting right. This one got a little bit bent, but yeah, we'll let this focus for a second and then we'll go ahead and show it off. Pretty standard. It really hasn't changed much. It should say pre-shrunk, 100% cotton, little medium. Once again, the Supreme tag should be centered on the tag. And if you want to look at the, let me just fold this back. You should be seeing a silver Supreme logo right there. And then you should be seeing the materials right there. There should be a little bit of Chinese or Japanese down there. Should be an address, 1994, incorporated. I can't even pronounce that word. Something Amsterdam. Should mention the Netherlands. And like I said, I'll zoom in on all of this. And it should be nothing on the back. And then when you're looking at the back of the shirt, obviously you should make sure that it has this on there. They forgot to put this on there. That's automatic fake. Let's move along to the camo box logo. So starting things off, let's once again take a look. Ooh, got a little dirt mark right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box logo itself. The quality of it should be pretty good. There should be a spacing between the S and the U and all of the letters. None of them should be touching. And overall, there shouldn't be anything that looks super suspicious about it. And then once again, you should be seeing the same exact tag. Matter of fact, let's take a look at that. That's actually something that's different. So this tag is different than the Futura one. This one is like the loop right here. So there's only one tag on here, and it of course has that silver one. And as I just showed you guys, this one is different. This one has two separate tags, so that's something to note. If you find a Futura box logo and it has the old tag, it may not be legit, and vice versa. If you find a camo box logo with two tags, it may not be legit. So good thing I actually pointed this out and that a viewer requested this. Let's go ahead and we'll talk about this one last. Once again, and I actually did show this off in my unboxing of this one. But the hoodies are going to be different. So when it comes to the hoodies, it's going to be just a simple red Supreme tag right there. And then you're going to flip it up and it's going to say the medium, and this one is made in Canada. I'm pretty sure all of them should say made in Canada. And then you're going to see a separate tag right there that says made in Canada, and then you're going to lift it up and it should have some numbers right here. And then when you're talking about the box logo itself, the stitching and everything on here should be absolutely phenomenal. Notice how, although it is close, none of the letters touch. Everything looks good. Look at how pristine that stitching is. It looks perfect. Nothing about it looks off. Now, let's talk about the Louis Vuitton one. This one is one of the only ones that I obviously had to buy aftermarket. Now, there is a couple of ways to tell how this Louis Vuitton one is authentic. right off the top of my head, and I'm gonna say this, you guys want to make sure you do a bunch of research, right? If you're gonna be buying a piece this expensive, you want to make sure you're doing a bunch of research. So for starters, on the, I don't even know what you exactly call these, but on the monogram of the Louis Vuitton, you want to make sure that that red goes inward right there over that little space. Notice how it protrudes into that space cleanly. All right. And then just take a moment to look at the Supreme and the Louis Vuitton logos themselves and how they look. Everything just looks right. Nothing looks off. Nothing looks sketchy. Because sometimes the printing on it just looks very, very weird on these. So yeah, go ahead and take a quick reference at this. And then right here, it should say Louis Vuitton Paris. And I believe there is another tag on the bottom of the shirt. I may be mistaken. I can't remember 100% if there is. Yeah, you want to make sure that there's a separate tag down here. This one is a large, made in Italy. Notice the stitching. It looks very like, it just looks good. It doesn't look sus. Nothing about it looks off. You can see right there everything that it says. Once again, I'll zoom in if the GoPro isn't getting it properly. And this is once again another double tag. Is it a double? Yeah, it's a double tag. This one should be completely blank on that inside. This one should just have a little bit of information. Then you flip it up, and you're actually going to see number ratios to the entire size chart. It's going to say for Japan only. Right there. So yeah. And even, I would even consider making sure that you see that part of the tab right here. So let's talk about buying Supreme box logos aftermarket. What I recommend is, if you're going to buy them aftermarket, if you can get them in person, I would 100% recommend trying to look at them in person first. This one I was not able to get in person first, but I got this off of a site called Mercari. Now, a lot of you guys may or may not have heard about Mercari. Some of you guys might think that that's a little bit sketchy, and that's totally understandable. But here's what you want to look out for. You want to pick sellers that have a lot of reviews, and you want to look at what they are selling and what they have sold. So this seller right here, he had a couple of designer pieces listed for sale, and he had previously sold a handful of designer pieces. He had a bunch of positive 5-star reviews. If you go on Mercari and you see somebody selling this and they only have one review, and it was a random pair of Nikes, I wouldn't trust it. Just to be safe. Not even to like discriminate or anything, but you just want to be safe. It is a lot more believable that this piece is authentic if you see this person listing a bunch of other designer pieces that, you know, appear authentic, versus, you know, buying this piece off someone that has only sold one other, you know, item on there, and it's a cheap item. That's just my opinion. I would want to be super safe with my money, so that's just how I would go about it. And obviously you guys are free to make your own choices, but I'm just trying to look out for you guys, because it would really suck to get scammed on a piece like this. You know, not to be like super materialistic or anything, but I just love that I have this shirt. It's my grail, and I love that I have to resort to buying, you know, a fake to obtain it. So that's my advice. If you're looking into getting Supreme box logos, always try in person. Always just do your due diligence. You know, the materials on these, they should feel pretty thick. I mean, the Louis Vuitton one is an exception. This one actually feels kind of thin. But regular Supreme box logos that are just made only with Supreme, these shirts are, you know, a little bit on the thicker side. They're not super thin. The collar has a pretty nice thickness to it on them. And we discovered the size and the tag difference on the Futura box logo and the Camel box logo, which is only like a season apart. So we know about that. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully this video was informational. And yeah, shout out to the viewer that requested this video. Thank you. That being said,